Welcome to FRC Media News for Thursday, January 27th, 2022. I'm Keith Tebow. We're all tracking a potential snowstorm expected to hit Fall River on Saturday. Diman moves ahead to seek approval on building a new school. Governor Baker gives his final State of the Commonwealth Address and presents his final state budget. And there will soon be some construction activity at the King Philip Mill site in the South End. All this and more coming up. We've all kept our eye this week on a potential snowstorm, which is expected to hit Fall River on Saturday. Mayor Paul Coogan says the city is ready for whatever comes our way.
As with all the storms in New England, it's track sensitive, and we do think that we may be getting one break because it is on a Saturday. So hopefully, if we can start pounding out the message to do your shopping, you could start today. Make sure you know where you're going to put your car. Make sure you're aware of the parking requirements. There's public lots in the Flint. I think there's one. Obviously, there's a couple of lots we use downtown, and we'll make people aware of that starting tomorrow. But just be aware of where you can put your car and where you can't. It's a safety issue. If we can plow these streets from the curb to curb in some of them, or from the parked cars to the curb in the others, it's going to make the city get to turn this storm around much more quickly and make sure the people are safe and they have a way to get by.
The city has issued a parking ban to take effect effective Friday at 6 p.m. The city also has set 4 locations across the city to park cars to get them off the street. They are the Flint lot on Cash Street, the Municipal lot on Columbia Street, and the lots at Talbot and Morton Middle Schools. Stay with FRC Media as we will be providing updates on the storm as it hits the city this weekend. Time to get an update now on COVID-19 in Fall River. Here are the latest numbers as of last Thursday, January 20th. For the first time in weeks, the city saw a decrease in new COVID cases, although the numbers are still high. There were 1,880 new cases of the virus in Fall River last week, compared to over 2,100 the week before. There are now over 26,000 cases confirmed since March of 2020. Vaccinations remain flat at 67% of city residents having received at least one dose and 59% fully vaccinated. Although encouraging, Fall River Director of Public Health Tess Curran is still keeping an eye on whether a trend toward lower case rates will continue.
So we've seen, slight decline in some of our cases, but we're still seeing an incredibly high amount of cases on average per day. Our percent positivity rate is 27 at this point in time, with a average of about 330 plus cases a day. So while we may be seeing a decline, we are still seeing a significant number of cases, which means while we're hopeful that we're going to see lower case rates, we still have to take all the public health measures at this time, because we're not out of the woods yet by any means.
Curran says the increase in cases has been driven primarily by spread within household settings among family and friends. She says residents need to remain vigilant in heeding public health and safety protocols and getting tested if exhibiting symptoms. Community testing is available Tuesday and Thursday from 8:30 a.m. to 1:30 p.m. at the Fall River Fire Department headquarters, and at the state's Stop the Spread site daily, Monday through Friday, at Bristol Community College and at local pharmacies. Community COVID vaccination clinics will continue through the early part of February at the Fall River Public Library and State Stanislaus School. While COVID infection rates rise, the city's vaccination rate increases remain slow but steady.
Even though we're maybe not seeing those high percentages each week of an increase, we are still seeing an increase. So, for us, kind of in the health department, and maybe those on the vaccine task force, any vaccine, one vaccination, we consider that, to be a success. So even these slow and steady increments, we are happy with folks who are making the decision to get vaccinated. So we're kind of reframing our mindset to think of those as positives. We are seeing people who have been hesitant to move to getting vaccinated. We've seen people who have family members who have been in the ICU and that they've made the decision to get vaccinated because they saw the impact that COVID had on their family.
While in the midst of this latest COVID surge, Curran says she and the Board of Health are urging residents to follow state recommendations and wear masks indoors.
At this point in time, the board hasn't moved on any type of a mandate in terms of mask use or any additional restrictions. I think the hope is that we can, encourage residents to again, keep these public health measures in mind, to take these seriously, especially as we're in this surge and we're all indoors. It's so cold out, we can't socialize outside, or even go maybe for a walk with a friend. It's more of a challenge with all of this weather, so people are congregating indoors. So doing the best that we can to mitigate that. Stay home when you're sick, wash your hands, wear your mask, seek testing as much as needed. Those are tools in our toolbox. But at this point in time, there isn't a local move to any type of a mandate or any type of restrictions.
The process of constructing a new Diman Regional Vocational Technical High School is now focused on getting local, political, and community support. The school recently received more time from the state to do so. Last month, Diman received $145 million in assistance from the Massachusetts School Building Authority to construct the $293 million school. Diman Superintendent Director Dr. Elvio Ferreira says the funding announcement sets in motion a deadline to receive approval of the project from the 4 communities the school serves: Fall River, Somerset, Swansea, and Westport. The initial deadline for approval was set for April 15th, but yesterday the school was granted a 90-day extension to seek approval by the MSBA. The Diman School Committee still needs to vote to accept that deadline extension. The process for community approval is dictated by state law.
Diman Regional has 2 avenues it can take under Massachusetts general law. One is what we're doing now, where each individual community has the right to vote and decide to disapprove the project. The second avenue, should our school committee deem it appropriate, is to hold a regional vote, a regional referendum vote, where the region acts as one versus 4 independents. Our regional agreement requires us to do the individual situation first. And again, should that not pass, if there's something that comes up where a community decides to disapprove the project, it then comes back to Diman Regional School Committee to decide if they wish to do the regional vote moving forward or not move forward at all.
Thus far, Westport and Swansea have given their support to the project. Somerset is planning to have approval come up at a vote at town meeting, and the Fall River City Council will soon be asked to weigh in on the proposal. Dr. Ferreira says Diman's long-standing commitment to excellence in vocational education, combined with a glaring need to improve its facility, should convince the communities to move the project forward.
Additionally, we look at it as kind of an equity situation. We have large percentages, large numbers of students here from all 4 sending communities. Those communities individually are really reinvesting in their students locally by creating these new school systems. We would look for support from those communities as well, as we have approximately 85 Westport students here, 150 from Somerset, 130 from Swansea, and over 1,000 from Fall River. As those districts independently do what's best for their students, we look for them to do collectively what's best for all students involved, which obviously takes into account the students that are here at Diman Regional. So the support of those communities is going to be really important, and the statement of all students deserve what's best, and that would include our students here at Greater Fall River.
A major factor in the community's decision to approve the project is the cost each will bear in funding their portion of construction that is not reimbursed by the state. Under current financial analysis provided to the communities, Fall River will be asked to pay $193 million toward the project, Somerset $24.5 million, Swansea $21 million, and Westport $13 million. Communities would not be assessed until 2024, and payments would be spread out over 30 years. It's unclear how each community will choose to pay for the project, either through their general fund or via a tax debt exclusion vote. The school has launched an outreach campaign to educate the community to the benefits of a new school and to garner support for its approval. Deborah Kenny is chair of the project's outreach committee and says asking taxpayers to foot the bill for a new school is a big ask, but one that will ensure Diman remains a relevant educational option for the region.
It will be a challenge. There's no doubt about it. This involves money. I think the overall purpose, I think people will be very supportive, but we're coming on the heels of a new school in Somerset, a new Durfee, a new Westport High School, and we know that Swansea has some needs, and they're also in the pipeline as well. So we are excited. We're very positive. We've had great responses from the community, but we also are very realistic. We know this is a hill to climb, but it's such an important hill. And as Dr. Ferreira mentioned, all these towns and school and city have done very well to build new institutions that will give their students the best technology and education that they can possibly have. And we want to do the same for those students that are here.
The Outreach Committee has created a website and Facebook page dedicated to the project, both called Building Bengal Strong, where residents will soon learn more about the impact a new Diman will have on the local community. Massachusetts Governor Charlie Baker this week presented his final State of the Commonwealth Address. Baker made a point to highlight the achievements of his administration over the first 7 years in office, including the completion of South Coast Rail, which will connect Fall River and New Bedford to Boston by the end of next year. He also referenced the work done to get the state through the pandemic thus far.
You know, there's an old expression about what you learn about people when they're truly tested. Well, for the past 2 years, the people, institutions, and communities of this Commonwealth have most definitely been tested. And time again, you've adjusted and you've responded. And together, we set the course for a comeback, and it's working. Our unemployment rate is below 4% for the first time since March of 2020, and we've gained back over 500,000 jobs. And because of all you've done, we can stand here together tonight, and I can say that the state of our Commonwealth remains strong. Congratulations.
Looking ahead to his final year, the governor is hoping the legislature will consider 2 initiatives to improve public safety.
There are many important opportunities to build on the collaborative work we've done over the past 7. 2 of those opportunities are closing loopholes the Lieutenant Governor spoke about earlier that threaten public safety. The first loophole allows those charged with violent crimes, who may also have lengthy criminal records, to walk free before trial. And the second leaves residents, many of them women, with little recourse when an ex-partner attempts to violate them and destroy their lives. Now, we filed bills to deal with these issues 3 times to no avail. The time to do something about this is long past. The Lieutenant Governor and I recently listened to several women tell their survival stories, and it was one of the most difficult conversations we've ever been part of. One after another, these women described in graphic detail how they survived multiple physical and psychological assaults, and how these loopholes actually protected the men who were terrorizing them. It was awful.
Yesterday, the governor took the wraps off his final state budget, a plan that totals $48.5 billion. The spending proposal calls for more money for education and local cities and towns. It also comes with a plan to cut over $700 million in taxes to seniors and low-income residents.
Our tax proposal will allow nearly $700 million to remain in the hands of taxpayers on an annual basis. Specifically, it would double the maximum senior circuit breaker tax credit. This change would lower the tax burden for more than 100,000 low-income seniors. It would increase the cap on the rental tax deduction from $3,000 to $5,000. This would allow people who are renting to save approximately $77 million a year. It would help working families by doubling the dependent care credit, which would benefit more than 700,000 families in Massachusetts, and eliminating the income tax for thousands of low-income residents who still pay income taxes by establishing a different threshold to determine no tax status would benefit 234,000 taxpayers. These changes would help people save money on housing and childcare costs and provide relief for some of our lowest income residents. And we certainly hope the legislature will take this opportunity to put more money into the hands of the pockets of these hardworking residents, many of whom were on the front lines over the past 2 years or had their lives disrupted by this pandemic.
Fall River State Representative Carol Fiola was at the governor's address this week. She says she remains encouraged by the continued level of cooperation exhibited by the administration and legislature.
He and Lieutenant Governor Karen Polito, overall, I have to say they've been a very good partner with us in the legislature. We've made no bones about it that a lot of the initiatives that have been happening here, getting off the ground, getting back on track, have been as a result of they and us collaborating very well together. Now, has it all been perfect? Absolutely not. But let's talk about the good things, the right things, the things we worked on together. There's lots of things we all wanted that we never got, but that's not what you focus on. You can spend a lot of negative energy.
Fiola says legislators still need some time to look over the governor's tax cutting plan as well as other spending initiatives.
Tax breaks you mentioned, those are great. Let's figure out how we do it, how it could be done. Can it be done? And certainly this is the last and final budget year for the governor, so I'm sure he wants to leave with as many positive initiatives as possible. But again, we're here and we're trusted with making sure that what we do is right for everybody.
The city continues to enjoy economic recovery, at least in terms of employment. The city's unemployment rate for December came in at 6.2%. down nearly 1 full percentage point from November's 7.1%. Communities around Fall River and other gateway cities all saw declines last month. The state's jobless rate also fell sharply in December to 3.9%. South End residents will soon see construction activity at the King Philip Mill site after the city of Fall River issued at least 5 building permits to begin construction of the first phase of single-family homes on Kilburn and Dwelly Streets. During a recent taping of FRCmedia's Voices from the Hill program, State Representative Alan Sylvia said local developer Robert Kafori has been given the go-ahead to begin construction into what will eventually be 26 single-family homes adjacent to Cook Pond.
To see a few going up will be wonderful along Dwelly and Kilburn. Right now, where the building permits will be, those are the homes that will be constructed. And but Mr. Kafari continues to move forward with the development of that site. So he's thrilled as well to get this underway. That's exciting because it will be great to see construction there and homes being built. He still has more work to do in clearing in the back area, back toward the pond.
Kafori purchased the 750,000 square foot property in January of 2018 and has had to overcome a number of environmental issues during the demolition of the mill complex. Sylvia says once construction begins, it will include public access to Cook Pond.
Cook Pond is a gem that has been overlooked because it's been covered and it was surrounded by mills and an armory. We have that great fishing pier, Matthew Cuss Pier, that we've been so involved in ensuring that is there and utilized by so many people for fishing and launching a boat. But to open up the rest of Cook Pond will be an amazing thing for the South End. And it has potential for great recreation, for swimming and for additional boating and canoeing, kayaking.
We'll have more FRC Media News right after this.
Here are some job descriptions on the latest hot jobs list from the Mass Hire Fall River Career Center. Receptionist, Cavallo Grove Health and Rehab Center, located at 273 Oak Grove Avenue, seeks a full-time receptionist. responsible for receiving and greeting visitors at the front desk and answering and screening incoming phone calls. Job number 161047172. Substitute paraprofessional. Atlantis Charter School, located at 37 Park Street, is looking for a part-time substitute paraprofessional to work with individual or small groups of students to reinforce the learning of material initially introduced by the teacher. Job number 161-18531. Director of Communications, Family Service Association, located at 101 Rock Street, is in need of a full-time Director of Communications, responsible for all marketing, public relations activities, and research, and write grants for a variety of programs and services. Job number 160-93907. Warehouse Worker, U.S. Bedding Incorporated, located at 451 Quarry Street, is looking for a full-time warehouse worker. For more information, call 508-678-6988. Republic Services of Fall River, located at 1080 Airport Road, has an immediate need for the following full and part-time positions. Commercial truck driver, job number 161-07713. Dispatcher, job number 161-07709. For more information about these or other positions, visit Mass Hire JobQuest at jobquest.dcs.eol.mass.gov or call the Mass Hire Fall River Career Center at 508-730-5000.
Welcome back. The Center for Advanced Manufacturing at the Mass Tech Collaborative held an event in Fall River this week to award over $2.1 million in grants as part of the Massachusetts Manufacturing Accelerate Program. 2 city manufacturers were among the 13 companies to receive an award that focuses on rewarding small businesses that utilize new technologies and improve efficiency. The award ceremony was held at Clearview Home Textiles in the Fall River Industrial Park. Clearview has been producing indoor and outdoor cushions in Fall River since the 1960s and has 75 employees. CEO Ben Cooper says his company's $87,500 grant will be used to streamline its production.
We're gonna spend that money on a new machine that has an automated sewing. It sews a certain pattern, so it's going to enable us to standardize that and to do it more efficiently. We compete globally, so people are making cushions all around the world. So we need to be able to produce competitively priced product for our customers and consumers. And then also this machine is going to help us expand the types of product that we can make efficiently and competitively. So I think it's going to be a game changer for us.
Marzilli Machine Company is located in the Kennedy Park neighborhood of the city. It produces plastic and metal parts for government, medical, and other commercial manufacturers. Owner Jamie Marzilli says he'll use the $250,000 grant to expand his 10-year-old operation.
If I had to put a number on it, I would say this grant probably cut 2 years off my growth projection. We were able to put some machines and some pieces in place, which allowed us to free up some capital to hire, and we've already began that process of bringing in some new people so we can train them as we're getting ready for an expansion. And it was huge. It brings in, if we can bring in that timeline, that means that we can grow faster. We're able to produce more goods, which also it helps to accelerate that timeline. We're hoping to be, somewhere between a $15 and $25 million manufacturing company that employs somewhere between 50 and 100 employees. It's hard to tell exactly once you start to forecast out that far.
And finally, teachers at Fall River Public Schools and at Diman Regional Vocational Technical High School can now take advantage of some added tools to de-stress. A coalition of Fall River social service agencies, as part of its community wellness initiative, collaborated with Amazon in Fall River to assemble Zen boxes to be housed at school faculty lounges.
So we thought that we could put together a box of all kinds of things that teachers could use to mitigate their stress. Everything from cooling lotions to fidget spinners to stress balls to Mandela coloring sheets, things that people could use so when teachers are sitting in the teacher's lounge and they have a couple of minutes, they can sort of de-stress and find their zen. We were delighted when Amazon approached us and said, how can we help? And they came through with an Amazon dock for every faculty lounge for the Fall River Public Schools and Diman Regional Vocational School. It is an incredible contribution, and it is really indicative of how Amazon is willing to look at the problems that we have in Fall River and step in and help us in an area that we were not able to do it.
We are so delighted to support the local community in any way possible. When the request came through, everyone on our site gave a resounding yes. We are so happy to make the donation and make a contribution in this way to help the community, to help the schools, and really to help with mental health issues in our community.
We'll wrap up FRC Media News right after this.
This is Suki. She is a very sweet girl. She was a stray from Fall River, loves to be pet, loves to be held. She's very lovable. She is around the age of 6, I believe. She is very playful too. So if you're looking for a cat that's likes to be with people, just chill out, but also likes to have some fun by playing, she would be very good for you. I also think she would do best in a home with kids 12 and up, just because toddlers can freak some of the cats out. If you want to come down and meet Suki, just give us a call to make an appointment. You can come down and meet Suki. She would love to meet everyone here.
Welcome to Hot Dogs and Cool Cats. Today we have Honey. Honey is about 8 years old. She is a brindle pity type dog. Honey was surrendered to us through no fault of her own. Honey is a very sweet older gal, a little bit independent. She can be a little nervous with new people. Honey loves to go for walks. She loves to be outside. She does like other dogs. With cats, she's selective, like all of our pity dogs. We do require that you own your own home. If you think Honey is a good fit for you, head on over to foreverpaws.com, kiss it, fill out an application, good girl, and then give us a call so you can come on down to 300 Linwood Street and meet Honey.
That's all for this edition of FRC Media News. Please visit our website at frmedia.org for all the latest news and information. This program, FRC Media News, airs Thursdays at 6 p.m. and Fridays at 5:30 p.m. For all of us here at FRC Media News, I'm Keith Tebow. Please stay safe from this weekend snowstorm. We'll see you next Thursday.